I really liked the animals there, so I touched them all. So I really liked the cows because they wouldn't run away from you. So there was like lots of that. And cats. I had a cat give birth at every single one of my houses. So I don't know, they like love me or something. They just kind of live in our, like outside of our door. Stuff like that. Lots of like, I saw lots of frogs, and I like to just hold everything. So that was fun too. So. I had a stalker. That was a little bit dangerous. So I had to stay at my house. It happened in 2 different areas. But I had to stay at my house like for a couple of days while we figured that all out. But I really didn't want to transfer, so I told my mission president that like I would promise to be careful, and nothing ever happened. So that was good. One came to church once, which is good for him, but he wasn't there for the right reasons, so that was a little sketchy. But I don't know. We had another time we were out in our area and we missed the last bus. We had to walk home. It took us like 3 hours. It was a little bit scary because it was dark and we just had to like hope that we remembered how to get home. But we made it, so that's good. Well, for the first one, he came up and talked to us and wanted to like know where our church was at first, but then we kind of like figured out he wasn't really interested in the church because he wanted the 2 Americans to go to his house. So we told him that we couldn't, and so he kind of just showed up at church and was like asking for me and the other American that was there, and he was just kind of following us around, and he talked to our bishop and like wanted us to go live at his house. So a little bit hard there. And then he came by our house once, but we just stayed inside. And then the other one, I met him in my 3rd area, and he came to church. I thought he was a member there. Then when I moved to my 4th area, he was at church there too, and they were like 3 hours apart from each other. So he would just kind of like follow us to church, and then he told our bishop that Jesus told him that he was supposed to watch out for me and take me with him. So that was kind of scary. But then our bishop told him that he didn't tell him that, and he was confused. So he went back, and then he never came back, so it's okay. Probably the typhoon. It was like super, super windy and like rainy. Like sideways rain is crazy, and trees like falling down, and luckily no one in our area, like, or our mission really even like got really hurt, but there's definitely homes that were blown down and definitely big winds. So yeah. Probably either like the balut, which is like probably the most common, like it's the bird inside the egg that's, you just eat it. And I didn't love it, but it wasn't horrible. And then probably like the blood soup. So it's like blood, and then there's like organs of various animals inside of it. So I loved. It's called toyo, and people think it's gross, but it's my favorite. It's just like little fish that are dried in the sun with salt on them. And so a lot of people don't like them, but I do. You like kind of fry them. They have a different smell, but I loved it. And probably sinigang. It's like a sour soup you can do pork or fish in it and vegetables. Well, I loved all of it, but probably adobo is another like super common one. It's just soy sauce and vinegar, and then usually chicken, but sometimes pork as well. I think probably like one of the hardest things for me was when people, well, it only happened twice to me actually, which I'm grateful for, but they were so close to getting baptized, like they had a date and it was their day, and we went to go pick them up, and they didn't want to come anymore because they decided that they really weren't interested in the church. And that was something that was really hard for me because like I had pled so hard with the Lord to help me help them, and I thought that they were doing so great. Like both my companion and I thought they were on the right track, and they were supposed to show up at the church and they didn't. And that was kind of hard, but I also learned from it that everyone has agency and we have to respect it. And even though like that day wasn't the day that they were to be baptized or to commit to the Lord, but they have that in their hearts, and one day then something might happen in their life that they'll remember that, and they'll come back and they'll find him again through other missionaries. So I think a lot of the times we forget the spiritual experiences that happen for us, and so I think that was probably one of my biggest ones where I finally realized that I needed to give myself to the Lord, and I couldn't keep going like half and half, I guess. And so like I remember like the exact day that I like pled with him to help me because I wanted to be the best missionary I could, and I remember the feeling of it being different after that I wanted to be a better missionary. I wanted to work harder. I wanted to go out and teach longer days and help everyone that I could, and something that it wasn't for anyone else, but it was for me, which benefited a lot of other people, that I really came to know our Heavenly Father, and I gained a personal relationship with Him, and I knew that He was there with us and helping us, and that He loved me. So